Hello and happy birthday to all of my fellow Virgos out there. Heather here with Astrology with Heather.com, and today I have a very special video for all of you where we're going to go into the most important forecast for your solar year ahead. And so what I mean by solar year is that this is a forecast based on your sun sign. So this is for Virgo sun signs in particular. And this is going to be a general overview of the most important energies for your solar year ahead. So your birthday this year in 2019 all the way through to your birthday in 2020. And this is going to be an abridged version of a much lengthier forecast that I do have available for you to purchase and download right away. The link is down in the description below. It's a 2-hour video forecast with supplemental materials that will give you a much deeper, much more detailed overview of what you're going to be coming up against for the year ahead. And you're not going to be coming up, I would say, against a lot, because this is a great year for Virgos. And lucky me, right? Because I'm a Virgo sun sign just along with you guys. And we have a lot of really powerful influences. We've already had Saturn and Pluto and the eclipses trining and sextiling our suns. And, this coming year, we're going to have Jupiter joining in on that mix. We have Uranus in a trine as well. And so I'm going to get into what all of this means. But the general energy for Virgos for this year is going to be very positive. There are a lot of really powerful, optimistic, expansive opportunities for growth, for change, for rejuvenation, for restoration, for really working hard, but in a way that doesn't feel like hard work, to accomplish our biggest goals and plans for our year ahead. And so the first influence I want to talk about is Jupiter, because this is one of the most beneficial influences you can have in astrology. Jupiter will be trining all of Virgo sun sign suns in the next year. And so Jupiter trine the sun is a year where you're going to feel much more optimistic, much more expansive. You're going to have much more good luck and good fortune, or at least it'll seem that way. A lot of what you'll be creating and manifesting and expanding on and growing and receiving into your life this year will be partially the results of the foundation that you've been setting over the past few years. Especially this last year, we've had Saturn trining your sun, and it'll continue to trine your sun in the coming year. And so this has been a period where you've been working really hard toward your long-term goals and plans, whatever those might be, whatever those might mean for you. So when we're talking about the sun, we're talking about the soul's expression of purpose in the physical reality. It's what we need to feel lit up and satisfied and successful in life. And so we've been working very hard and very diligently over the past year, and we'll continue to do that through the start of 2020 even, toward really aligning ourselves with our purpose, aligning ourselves with our authentic path and what we came here to do. And that could be in the way of work. That could be in the way that we show up in service for other people in our lives, through our work, through our relationships, through our family connections, through our friendships or our networks, through some sort of altruistic or charitable pursuit. It could come about in many different areas for us, or all areas at once, because the sun really has a lot to do with our core expression of identity. And so we've been working on this and working really hard to transform our lives and to really align ourselves with what we came here to accomplish. And so with Jupiter coming into the mix, it's going to expand on the results and the fruits of our labors, the fruits of our hard work. We've been working really easily, and things have been progressing really steadily. And now Jupiter is going to come in and give us a burst of energy. And we're going to see a lot of expansion and a lot more optimism and enthusiasm. People who have their sun in Virgo will become much more enthusiastic this year and much more driven to accomplish their goals. And when they work toward accomplishing some sort of goal, Jupiter has our back. Jupiter will make sure that we're protected and that the results will be positive, even if we are experiencing hardship in other areas of our charts, because we each have planets in different houses and different signs. And so while our sun is a really predominant energy in our chart, we might be having some difficulty in some area. Maybe your moon is somewhere else and it's being hit really hard by Saturn, but Saturn is trining your sun and making sure that you're putting in the effort and the hard work, and then Jupiter's coming in and helping you to feel much more ambitious and optimistic and re-energized. And so pretty much whatever you want to accomplish this year, Jupiter has your back. Saturn will help you to work hard for it, and Jupiter will make sure that it moves in your favor. And when I say Saturn too, don't worry about Saturn, because Saturn is making positive aspects. In positive aspect, Saturn creates stability, longevity. It does bring you that foundation. It's not something to be scared of. It's you're still having to work at something, but it feels like it's just coming along really easily. You're not having to struggle like you might be otherwise with Saturn in a different sign, like when Saturn was in Sagittarius the past few years, squaring Virgo sun signs. That would have been a more challenging type of energy. And so moving forward, the other energy that we have is, of course, Uranus. Uranus is in the sign of Taurus and will be trining a lot of Virgo sun signs. And you'll know exactly who's going to be hit by this in the more extended version of the forecast. But Jupiter trines to the sun typically indicate positive change that comes about in a way that's gradual and sustainable and long-lasting. And yeah, it does disrupt the status quo, but it feels much more liberating than it does unsettling and disruptive. So it's like these positive, powerful changes come into our lives that throw us in a new direction or shake things up in just the right way to create just a little bit more freedom in the areas that we need it. And so we'll experience a lot of positive changes when it comes to our path, when it comes to aligning with our purpose, when it comes to our work, our career, our success out in the world, our relationships, our family situations. So there's going to be a lot of letting go of restrictive, burdensome energy and shifting into a way of life that is much more independent and much more self-driven and self-sufficient. And that's another thing that Uranus will bring. The other energy that's coming is that Pluto is also trining our sun. We got all this earth energy in the outer planets, bringing all these really tangible, really physical changes in a lot of people's lives. And for Virgos, these are all going to be trining our suns. And so, lucky us again. And when Pluto trines your sun, that is one of the most positive, most deeply restorative, deeply regenerative aspects that you can have in astrology. It's super empowering. You feel like you're a force to be reckoned with. Anything that you really want to focus your energy on, you'll be laser focused on whatever it is that you're passionate about, whatever it is that you want to draw into your life or you want to create out of your own volition. And Pluto will make sure that whatever it is that you are creating is deeply in alignment with your truth and your purpose and your deepest desires, because you can't do anything otherwise when Pluto is involved. And so you're making sure that you're focusing on the right things, and Pluto is ensuring that. And whenever Pluto trines one of your planets, it's this really intense manifestation energy. Not only are you really laser focused on doing what you need to do and drawing in what you need to draw in, but you literally become more magnetic. And so when you put something out there with your thoughts or with your intentions or with your actions especially, you'll get that coming back to you like tenfold in a very positive way. And so a lot can be creative, a lot can be manifested throughout this time. The eclipses will also be trining your sun, and we've already started that experience with the eclipses in Capricorn and Cancer. And this brings, again, transformation, but transformation that's experienced as very positive, and it happens in ways that are much more subtle and gentle and that feel really good even in the moment. And so we're going to have these karmic, fated, destined situations that pull us in a new path, but in a gentle way, in a softer way, in a much nicer, more pleasant way than we might have experienced throughout other parts of our lives. And so this is a really important influence as well. And then finally, the one thing that is a little dicey here is that Neptune is opposing our sun. And so Sun and Virgo people will have Neptune in opposition to the sun. You'll know if it's exact, in the PDF file that's included with the forecast if you do the extended version. But even by sign-based aspect, this is going to be influencing all Virgos. And it has been for quite some time. It just might be stronger this year for some than for others. And I can tell you firsthand, I had this come exact over the past couple of years, and it's a little disorienting, especially for a Virgo, because Virgos are the most grounded of all of the, well, not the most grounded, but Virgos are one of the most grounded signs. They are an earth sign, right? And so we're focused on what's logical, rational, tangible, reasonable. Like we're not looking at, floating around in the ethers so much, but this Neptune energy brings in some of that. And so we can find ourselves fantasizing more. We can find ourselves out of touch with reality. We can find ourselves feeling lazy or wanting to escape from the day-to-day reality of our lives. Virgos are very perfectionistic. They're very hardworking, usually quite disciplined. And it can be to the point where Virgos tend to get burnt out a lot more than other signs. This Neptune energy can provide a really great opportunity for rest, for reprieve, to pull yourself out of that constant go, go, go. I need to do this for this person, that for that person. I need to work on this other thing and plan and plot and all this stuff. It's like, no, take a break, relax, rest, escape into a good book, escape into a good movie, escape into a fantasy world, do some meditation, do some spiritual self-care on top of the physical self-care that Virgos are known so well for. And that's going to be a really great way to use that energy. But on the opposite end, it can make us much more susceptible to outside influences, much more sensitive in a way that can be alarming or difficult to deal with and navigate. And so what I mean by that is that we'll become more physically sensitive throughout this time. So you might find that you're more sensitive to foods or environmental influences that you never noticed before. You might become more emotionally sensitive, and so you might be picking up on other people's emotions. And so if you are in a place where you're surrounded by people who have a negative emotional experience at the time, you might be feeling that, and it might affect you and influence your emotions, and you might not realize where these bad moods or these negative feelings are coming from. Well, it might be coming from your environment or the people around you. And even energetically, you can become more sensitive. And so there's this really strange phenomenon that happens when you have a challenging Neptune transit, where a lot of times people will feel this free-floating sense of ominous energy, this like free-floating anxiety that comes and goes and makes no sense, and it seems to be attached to nothing, where it feels like something is about to happen and the next shoe is about to drop, and then nothing actually transpires in the physical reality. And a lot of that is because of the increased sensitivity. So you might be picking up on something, in your environment, or maybe in the global scheme of things, that you might not be aware of, or it might not actually be impacting you personally, but you're still picking up on it and your body's reacting to it as if it was something that affects you personally. So I hope that makes sense the way that I explain that. And I go more into detail, obviously, in the longer forecast, but this is still a really great overview of of what you guys are going to be experiencing. And again, it's mostly positive. This is going to be a great year for Virgo sun signs. There's plenty of opportunity for positive change, to move in positive new directions, to do so in a way that's not jarring or difficult to you, to work really hard toward your long-term goals and plans without feeling like you're working really hard toward it, and to take a break when you need to take a break, and to explore your spiritual side, to explore, the other dimensional realms, to explore your creativity, your imagination in ways that you never thought possible or you never even dreamed of in the past. And so it's a great year, and I hope that you have a wonderful birthday and a wonderful year ahead. And thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video and you found it helpful, please be sure to subscribe to my channel, like the video, and share it with your Virgo friends, because I'm sure they'll appreciate the ability to plan a little bit for what's ahead. All right, thank you so much. Bye.